Hi everybody, it's time for the weekly cosmic forecast where we tap into the transits and we look at the jinkies and the gates and we see the energies that are influencing the collective right now. And today we have a quite special thing going on. We have the full moon in Virgo in gate 47, which is opposing Neptune and the sun in gate 22. And this is an opposition. These are programming partners. So when we look at it in the rave mandala, we're going to see that they are on opposite sides, and we know that there's a tension when it is like that. And I felt like I want to actually show you the rave mandala and make you understand how it looks on the sky, and also bring in the signs, not only the gates and the jinkies. So usually when we look at the just now chart, we are just going to see the body graph and we'll see all the planets and the activation. So there we would see that the 22 is in Neptune and it's also the sun. And we can see that the moon and the earth are in the 47. What I like to do now is to really show you. So here we have all the signs. So these are 12 months. It's 1 year that it takes to go around. So right now we have the sun in Pisces in gate 22. And opposing, we have the moon. That's why it's the full moon, because it's opposing the sun, and that is in the 47. And these are programming partners. So that's in itself, there is a tension when we have those opposing elements. And so we don't only have it right now in the sun and the earth, but we also have this even stronger aspect with the moon as well. And when we look at it in the living library, it's about dishonor and oppression. And already the 22 has to do with this pressure. It's like a portal into our own suffering, into our own struggles, into our own emotions, and partly accepting them and be on this ride. And of course, when we have Neptune, which is also an emotional planet and something that veils what kind of has been hidden as well, and has this beautiful divine feminine in it, but also might have been repressing other things. So it's really a time where a lot of emotions can come up, and that where things that have been veiled can also come up to the surface, and it's coming up to be transmuted. It's coming up to be accepted, to be actually looked at with graciousness. And even the harder things are a lot of people leaving the planet. It feels like right now with everything that's going on, both with the virus and these kinds of things, it seems like there is this going in and out of the human form somehow that is accentuated. And the 22 is speaking about those bardo states when we are in between lives. So that's something that is we are shining light on right now with the sun and Neptune conjunct together. Let's see again. You can also see when you look at the transits like this and you include the rave mandala, you also can see the astrological, what's going on, that we have had so many things going on in Capricorn now for some months actually. And here you can see that we have the Capricorn gates 58, 54, 61 and 60 that are all activated now by so many planets. So I just feel like this is a very cool way to look at the transits and not only using the transit chart. So what more can we see? I feel it's interesting to look, for example, when we speak about personality, Mercury in the star pearl, this is a sphere of relating. So this is telling us how we can relate and how we can be successful in relating. The fourth line is all about getting our truth across. It's about sharing from the heart. So right now, together with this full moon, we have this ability or possibility to share from the heart, and to share with lightness, and to share in a way so we can create ruptures, we can create something new. So I feel that is something. It's Mercury, and Mercury is retrograde right now, but somehow it feels like it is to reevaluate, it is to come back, it is to come in with Neptune and with everything, but it's something that is asking us to actually share about it. That's what I feel in this one. And then again, we can see we actually have Jupiter now and Pluto that are together. So that is something that has to do we have all this chart that's completely open, kind of a reflector chart. So nothing that is accentuated in form of the centers. But the 61 that is really about channeling, taking in inspiration, taking in information from the great mystery. So that is accentuated through Jupiter and Pluto. And quite a lot of root gates that are activated. So perseverance and, focus and stillness, and maybe, using structures in a positive way instead of feeling limited by them. And perseverance, achievement, and also the 58, where do we have it? It's the South Node. Yeah, I feel it's still this thing about vitality, which is of course important. It has to do with the nodes and environment. Vitality is important right now. That we take care of ourselves, that we're grounded and rooted, and that we feel safe, and that we take care of the survival things before a lot of other things. And also the feminine care in Venus, that the sacral gate, and a fourth line again. So yeah, I think that is what I see. We can say something about all the completely open centers. So the open spleen, holding on to things that are not good for us. So whatever is lingering in your life, ask you, is it good for me emotionally, physically, mentally, and spiritually? Here is about your self-worth. So everything connected to that can be good to look at. That can be also have to do with now the emotions that might have been veiled that are coming up. So look at that. How do I feel about myself? How do I feel about my self-love? How do I prove myself, or how do I overpromise? How do I feel like I'm not as worthy when I'm not doing anything? And here we have also the questions about identity, direction, and love. So are you looking for these things outside yourself, or can you find it in you? Do you know where you're going? Do you know who you are? You know what love is? And is that something that you're focusing on from your own core, or looking outside yourself? And then the throat can be looking for attention or approval, and it can be also speaking from a place that isn't your truth, but depending on where you are, you're going to speak differently. So really listen into that in yourself, like whose voice are you speaking? Whose truth are you speaking? Are you becoming influence of what's around you? So these are things that I feel are good to look at when there's completely open centers this week. And no channels, so no themes in that sense. And we'll have the moon that is going to move on into gate 6, which has to do with conflict and harmony and peace. So that's something that we're going to be able to feel actually within the next few hours. And then this opposition and the pressure between the 22 and the 47 is going to be a bit less intense. We can also look, I kind of like to look at the integral human design. Yeah, to just know that there are strong emotions, and that we can even feel like possessed sometimes by our emotions, but to use that as creativity, as our passion, as our expression. So is there a way for those emotions to come out in a way so they're not just like burning us on the inside? And that's what I can see together with that 30th, that is fire over fire, and it has to do with lightness and rapture. So can we express it in a way so that it doesn't burn us on the inside? Do we have that courage to share from the heart, even the things that feel oppressing, even the things that feels like there's no honor in them, and to change that into creativity and inspiration for others maybe as well. So yeah, thank you.